What's going on, gang? I'm not going to take too much of your time. I just want to encourage you today. I want to encourage you today and every single day that we have to live on this beautiful planet, that the main thing that we want to do is keep our faith. Keep your faith. You understand me? Uh, there's multiple things in this world that will try to take your faith. But the beautiful thing is that out there, they can't take it because it's found within. And when it's held to within, faith moves mountains. You know what I'm saying? That's what you know who said. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go over some talking points. I'm gonna encourage you to keep your faith on this day, no matter what you're going through. All right. So it's the foundation of greatness. Everyone who's ever achieved anything amazing, we're talking from people that went to the moon, to the great artists, to the common day man, day laborer who was able to see himself out of a tough situation. You dig what I'm saying? Was able to get himself from being a farmer to being a businessman to being an industrial leader. You have to have faith. Okay. Thomas Edison had faith. That's how he was able to bring the light bulb. That's why we got light right now. Who he was as a person is another conversation between him and Tesla that must be said. So faith is not just a thought. Okay, this ain't no woo woo bullshit. Okay, you don't just think and then that's it. Right? It's actions. Okay, for sure. Everything is flowing from your thoughts. But that faithful thoughts will also produce faithful actions. For instance, right now, I'm having faith that if I just stay consistent on this YouTube, provide as much value as possible, that I can have it. And guess what? On a long enough timeline, I will. I've seen people who start off at zero and end up with a huge brand. But what did they apply? They applied faith, and they never lost that shit. Okay? And that's one thing I want you to do, is just never lose that shit. Because the reality, the vibrational reality that you create through faith, okay, in the unseen world. I've already said on this channel, the inside represents the outside represents the inside. It always works. If you have faith, everything works out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it looks like something bad is happening, right? For instance, um, let's talk about bills, buddy. You know what I'm saying? When you're fighting hard to pay them bills, you have to have faith to be able to believe that you will have it, right? And I've had an experience where it's like I was waiting on a check from an employer and they took forever. They dragged their fucking feet, which by the way, I don't interact with them no more because of that. And they made me, it wasn't them, it wasn't their fault. I take responsibility. But because of that, it was like my phone bill. You know what I'm saying? I just waited a couple of days and then I called the phone bill. I was like, hey, I got this. Can you just wait until that? And they were like, no, we're done with you. And it was like, what the fuck? Which was a bad thing at the moment. But it turns out I went over to another phone carrier, and not only did they welcome me, but they gave me a free phone, and it was a better deal, and I was able to get Wi-Fi. But imagine I lose my faith in that moment. Imagine in that moment I start tripping, I start tripping and letting the adversity control my vibration. Don't let them control your vibration. I let, you know, then I would lose everything. But we're not losing everything, we're gaining more and more, because that's what the faith vibration does, which is why I'm encouraging you to keep the faith. Okay? You declare that faith with your thoughts and actions just all day. You know what I'm saying? The enemy tries to take your faith. We battle against principalities. It's not necessarily just, you know, flesh and blood. Um, if people are trying to take your faith, you're allowed to keep it within. You know that. And by keeping it within, the world moves around you, bro. The world moves around you. It's a beautiful thing. I've seen it multiple times. Even today, here, right now. Um, this is a faith-driven action. And I'm going to continue it because it is faith that builds and it is fear that destroys. So you don't ever want to believe in fear. isn't obvious, is a given. Um, but if you look at the planet, a great deal of what goes on this planet is driven by fear. And so long as we keep our thoughts in faith, we will only invite faithful experiences into our experience. You know, we let everyone else have their experience. We let everyone else think what they want, do what they want. But when it comes to us, the one being that we have control over, I have faith. Have faith. You don't have to believe in such and such. I'm not telling you to subscribe to my religion. What I am telling you is have faith. If you got a God, have faith that your God is here to help. Because I've seen people who have faith lean on that faith and make great things happen in the world. This is how great things happen. This is how you overcome everything. You just keep your faith, and there's few people, I'm going to be one of them, who encourage you in ways like this. And there's a great majority of people who do not want to see it, because what happens is when you become faithful and you're diligent, God will start to bless you. You will be given things that, you know what I'm saying, other people can't even imagine, that or that you just can't have without such a determination of faith. And you can look everywhere. You can look anywhere and everywhere in today's day and age, and you can be discouraged. A big thing that I've seen is that people who even make it to the top monetarily in this money-driven system, they're not even happy, bro. They don't even be happy. That's one of the things that, drives me to be happy even while I don't have everything that I want. I have everything I need. I have a lot of the things that I want. I'm very ambitious, so I want all this shit. But I choose to be happy now, and sometimes life don't look the exact way that I want it to look. And that is when you learn the greatest lessons of how you want to move. The main point that I want to get at is faith, man. And I want to drive it home for you to have faith in how important it is. Because whatever energy that you have in your inner world, your vibration, it's always going to be reflected. That's the truest thing that I can get at. I see people who are young. I see young people who win in a calling, in a craft. And before they even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm young. I'm not old. I'm young, but I'm kind of old, a little old. And I'm just starting to understand this shit. And people who are young and succeed greatly, it's just obvious that they kept their faith. They put in their work. They didn't listen when people were trying to discourage them. I could think Arnold Schwarzenegger. What did he do? He busted his ass on them weights day in, day out. He took the testosterone. You know what I'm saying? He worked out for hours and hours every fucking day and had faith. You can see it in his videos. He had faith. And that's how he won. I can look to any artists, the artists of today's day and age, who we look up to. They had faith. I look at them and it inspires me, because these young artists who were able to win, they had faith. These young YouTubers who were able to win, they had faith. Okay? And those are the winners. Let's go ahead and look on the other side for a moment. Let's look at the people who you see hurting on this planet and just staying hurting, who go through adversity and don't make it. I don't believe it's because they don't have what it takes. It's that unseen world that I'm so passionate about. It's that unseen world, and it's whenever this thing starts going towards like, oh, we can't do it, It's not gonna happen. Everything's late. Everything's fucked. We don't have a way. I don't see the way. And the power that flows through you as a divine being of a human that you are just says okay. It just says okay. You say I can't do it, I can't make it, can't have it. It's over. We're fucked. And that's what you're gonna get. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful contrast that makes all the difference, man. It makes so much of a difference because the results are night and day. If you want to be a person who has results that please you, then you have to keep that faith. Faith, I'm faithful, and you take your actions in faith. And watch those results pile up. Watch them pile up. And I just encourage you that you don't necessarily have to get away from everyone who is unfaithful to themselves or their vision. Be faithful to yourself and your vision. You don't have to get away from them. You just really, really, really have to be able to not invite them through your thought, not invite the bullshit through your thought. You can be with someone who is just talking shit, talking about illness, talking about how you'll never make it, talking about how they'll never make it, talking about how this is where we're at and we're stuck. Don't think about that. Don't think about it. You had the conversation, it's over. When you get to your time to be with yourself, strengthen your faith. I can do it through this video as much as possible. I can give you examples. I can tell you how important it is. I can talk till I'm blue in the fucking face about how important keeping faith is. But it's you that has to strengthen your own faith. You have to wake up in the morning and say, I have faith. I have faith. I have faith. I have faith. I'm faithful. I have faith that what I'm doing is right. I have faith that I have the correct ideas. I have faith that I'm being driven and led to do the right things at the right times. I have faith that I'm following the correct ideas. I have faith in myself. I have faith in my higher power. I have faith. And I'm going to continue to act on that faith. It doesn't matter how many times you have to strengthen that shit. Because I think it has to be done all day, every day. I think it's that fucking serious. I think we're just on a planet where there's infinite perspectives. Every person has their own perspective. So no two people are going to look at my video and think the same thing. No one's going to get the same thing. No one's going to take it the same way. But I know my intention. My intention is to encourage you to keep your faith today, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, until you reach a vibration, an inner state that is clean, an inner state that is peaceful, an inner state that is faithful. Because what you will realize is by holding down that inner state, bruh, the world responds. This world feels like a dream. And it will always outpicture you. You can't get away from your thoughts. You can't outrun them. You can't outdo them. If I think about success all day long, there will be so much success that I can't outrun it. If I think about failure all day long, there will be so much failure that I can't outrun it. So again, keep your faith. Realize that the thoughts that you think are stronger than the actions that you can take. The thoughts that you think are stronger than the actions that you can take. Now, if you combine your thoughts with your actions, which will happen no matter what, the world will always force you to take action based on what you're thinking, because that's what we're here for. And it will always outpicture. Always outpicture. Keep your faith, my friend. Keep your faith. Good times, bad times, anything in between. Keep your faith. Keep your vibration high, clean, happy, faithful, and watch how opportunities fall in your lap and you move in the right times to do the right things. And you too will be able to say, I kept the faith and I watched the world give me what I asked for. With that, I'll catch you next one, dog. Peace.